Hey YouTuber, Shy Cubs fan 14 here, bringing you some gameplay from Carbon. I had a pretty decent game at the very beginning. I was using the MK14 with a red dot. Later changed that up to a G36 with a red dot. Was using my brand new Scuff gaming controller, and of course had on my Turtle Beach XP500 so I could hear all those people running at me, or hear all the people I was running from. But that's not really what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I want to talk about two things. The first thing being the death of a legend. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but after 244 years, the Encyclopedia Britannica is not going to be published in a hard copy any longer. In the future, it will only be available, of all places, get this, on the internet. If this isn't a sign of where our technology is taking us, I don't know what is. Hard copies or books are pretty much becoming a thing of the past. I'm not going to say that they're obsolete, but they're definitely being pushed to the brink. People are using their Kindles because they're lighter to carry. They can get online and purchase whatever book they want to read, and they don't even have to leave their house. They don't have to go to the library or Barnes and Noble. They can have it right there. So that's where we're headed. This story did get some national media attention, and I was thinking it probably should. You have to consider that this reference book has been in print longer than America's been a country, which is pretty damn impressive. There were two tweets that I saw in one of the articles that I read, and I found them pretty hilarious. The first one, the person tweeted, I'm considering spending the $1,300 on the books in case this whole electronic online thing doesn't work out. And the second funny tweet was, I didn't even know they were still printing the Encyclopedia Britannica. So we're going to say goodbye to the end of an era. No more heavy books, no more 38 volumes or how many ever it is, and no more spending over $1,000 on reference material. The second thing that I want to talk about, which kind of goes hand in hand with this information technology highway thing, is I've listened to some of the other commentators speak about it on a bunch of the other channels. I kind of wanted to weigh in on this, and it's a discussion about Kony 2012. While I was perusing some articles and looking at a couple things, I saw this one article where they were talking about in June of 1212 AD, there were about 30,000 people. Most of them were kids. They gathered in the center of France. And this mob of Christian kids were all upset. And the people at the time, the historians, ended up calling them the Children's Crusade. And what they were doing is they were on their way to Jerusalem, these 30,000 people, most of them children. They were on their way to Jerusalem to liberate that city from an infidel who, it was rumored, ate children. And as we all know, people have been fighting over Jerusalem forever, so they were going there to liberate it. But what's really funny is about 800 years later, I guess you could say, you have another group of kids that have found a new Jerusalem to liberate. The children of today are much different than those children back 800 years ago, since most of them can be connected by the internet, and they are the parents and guardians of the new social media age. But the new crusade that the children have founded back is Africa. And the video that sparked that interest, obviously, is called Kony 2012. What's mind-boggling is that this thing has gone viral. I think it first got on the internet on March 5th and on YouTube, and it's had about 80 million views since then. So you figure in 10 days, 80 million views. It shows the power that our new technology has. It shows the importance of the information network, and it shows the strength that it provides people to become involved if they may not be physically able to participate in the crusade. What I find more interesting is that the children was actually directed at the children of the world. There's been a lot of controversy about invisible children's financial status, but I think what the most important thing is that when they talk to the movie's maker, Jason Russell, he thinks of it as being owned by the children because, in his words, the youth of the world has funded it. Even the Invisible Children CEO acknowledged that the movie was made to appeal to children because they wanted to get them involved. So this is the power that the internet and our new informational era has on the world. Another story that goes hand in hand with Kony 2012 is the story of Uganda itself. Um, Kony 2012 is documenting things that happened in Uganda almost 6 years ago. Um, that doesn't diminish the severity of the atrocities that happened over there or what he did, but we all have to be aware that it's not happening right now in Uganda. In Uganda, Kony 2012 is pretty much considered a flop. Ugandan officials have denounced it, and to be honest with you, most Ugandans probably haven't even seen the film since the internet isn't widely accessible. The government of Uganda feels that the media may be leading some people to believe that the LRA, or the Lord's Resistance Army, which was led by Kony, is currently active in Uganda. Um, this is not the truth. They have not been there for 6 years. They were expelled. And right now, that force is reduced to about 300 soldiers. Right now, the LRA is primarily operating in the South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, or the DRC, and the Central African Republic, CAR. The LRA is being pursued by the Ugandan army, and believe it or not, it's actually being assisted and being supported by 100 or about 100 U.S. military advisors. President Obama sent a team over there last year, well before this film came out, well before the world knew about what was happening or the world paid attention to what was happening. And President Obama sent the troops over there to bring stability to the region and bring down Kony and the LRA. The people in northern Uganda are aware of what's happening, obviously, with the documentary because they're hearing everything, but they kind of view it as something that happened during bad times, kind of like what we look at with our Civil War. It wasn't the best time in our country's history. Some say it reminds them of the past, and they don't like it. But once again, this is another perfect example of what the information highway can accomplish when we set our minds to it. The power to use the internet as a tool of communication can never be overstated. Things that used to take months got cut down to weeks. Things that took weeks got cut down to days, and so on and so forth. As we continue to move forward, we have to responsibly handle these forms of information and be responsible with our reporting and what we put out there. But those are just some of my thoughts. I wanted to throw those out there at you guys. You know, if you have a comment about the video in general, please leave one down below. Let me know what you think about Kony 2012. Do you support it? Are you against it? Let me know what you know about invisible children. Likes are always appreciated, so hit the like button. If you want to go way out on the limb, subscriptions are welcomed. I have 3. Come on, be number 4. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff coming up pretty soon and I'll get it out there. Thanks a lot for checking in on this video. If there's anything else that you see on the channel, let me know. Check out some of my other things that are on the channel. Once again, thanks a lot for stopping by. Have a good one.